A single timeline can dismantle an alibi, connect scattered evidence, and persuade a jury when words alone cannot. Tonight, we break down why prosecutors love timelines, and why jurors trust them. The power of timelines. Every case is a puzzle. Dozens of pieces, some big, some small, scattered across days, weeks, or months. For prosecutors, the challenge is to arrange those pieces into a story that makes sense. And one of their most trusted tools is the timeline. Why? Because jurors don't want chaos. They want clarity. A timeline is order from disorder. Imagine hearing testimony after testimony. A store clerk says they saw the suspect at 9 o'clock. A neighbor swears they heard something at 9:15. A surveillance camera recorded a car at 9:22. On their own, each fact is fragile. Together, arranged minute by minute, they become something powerful. Timelines appeal to common sense. If this happened here at this time, then that couldn't have happened there at the same time. Contradictions reveal themselves. Patterns emerge. And in the hands of a skilled prosecutor, a timeline doesn't just show events. It tells a story, one that jurors can see. How they're built. Building a timeline begins with raw data. Prosecutors collect phone pings, receipts, camera footage, digital records, and eyewitness statements. Each is stamped with a time. Alone, they're fragments. Together, they form a sequence. Step 1 is arrangement. Chronological order. What came first? What came next? Step 2 is testing. Do the times match up with distances? Could someone have realistically moved from one place to another in that span? Step 3 is connection. Linking fragments into a chain. Take a simple example. A defendant claims they were home at 9 o'clock. But prosecutors find a receipt showing their credit card was used across town at 9:05. Instantly, the story bends. The alibi weakens. Modern technology adds even more. Phones record movements second by second. GPS apps track routes. Security cameras capture exact minutes. Digital breadcrumbs create a near-perfect diary of motion. But the real power comes when all of these are drawn together. A single line on a board or projection screen, each event pinned in place, showing the truth, or exposing the lie. Courtroom presentation. In the courtroom, prosecutors don't just speak. They show. Timelines are projected on large screens. Jurors sit back and watch as each event slides into place. 8:57, 9 o'clock. 9:05, 9:10. What was once scattered testimony becomes a straight line, leading to one conclusion. Investigators often enhance timelines with visuals, maps, icons, phone towers, or photographs. A dot for each location. A clock for each time. Even simple shapes can carry enormous weight when they line up against an alibi. The defense will often object. They'll argue the data behind the timeline is flawed, that the interpretation is unfair, or that the visuals are prejudicial. Sometimes they succeed, and parts of a timeline are struck. But when they remain, the effect is undeniable. Jurors later report that timelines stick in memory. Hours of testimony blur together, but a visual sequence is clear. They remember where the line began, where it ended, and how it exposed the truth. In a trial full of complexity, a timeline can be the one thing jurors carry with them into deliberation. Cases won by timelines. History offers many examples. In one case, a suspect claimed he was out of state on the night of a murder. But prosecutors built a timeline showing his phone connected to local towers at key hours. Surveillance cameras backed it up. A single line of events demolished the alibi. In another, prosecutors used toll booth records and gas station cameras to prove a suspect's car moved in a way that matched the crime. Jurors said the timeline of travel convinced them more than any witness testimony. Even in white-collar cases, timelines matter. Financial fraud often spans months. Prosecutors arrange emails, transfers, and phone calls minute by minute to show intent. But timelines aren't flawless. There are cases where faulty timestamps or assumptions misled juries. A misread surveillance time code. A misaligned phone ping. A narrative that seemed airtight, until appeals revealed cracks. These examples show both the power and the danger. When built carefully, timelines illuminate truth. When built carelessly, they can create illusions. Lessons and stakes. So why do prosecutors love timelines? Because they clarify. They persuade. They simplify complexity into a story that anyone can follow. Jurors don't need degrees in forensics or technology. They just need to see that the story makes sense, or doesn't. For defense attorneys, timelines are feared because they're hard to cross-examine. You can question a witness. You can challenge a lab report. But a line of times and places, visually aligned, is harder to dispute. Yet timelines are only as strong as their data. If the inputs are wrong, the output is misleading. Prosecutors know this, which is why courts demand strict standards for accuracy and validation. The stakes are enormous. A well-built timeline can lead to conviction. A flawed one can contribute to wrongful conviction. And in either case, it becomes the central story jurors carry into the deliberation room. Closing. In the end, timelines simplify chaos. They turn fragments into a story. And in a courtroom, story is power. That's why prosecutors love timelines. And that's why jurors believe them. All details in this video were verified against court filings and reputable reporting. Full sources are linked in the description. If you found this breakdown meaningful, subscribe to Silent Veil for verified true crime analysis every Tuesday and Friday. We lift the veil on hidden stories, always with respect, always with truth.